Bev Wright, and I'm that wonderful person who's running for State Representative Seat 12. And I have had many people say, well, we don't see your disability and how you are actually broken. And that's fair enough. It's amazing how much a little bit of skin can cover. These are what we call hidden disabilities. They're not entirely hidden, but to help people see from the inside out, I recently ended up having to be taken into the Salem Hospital for some care, and they ran a couple CAT scan series on me, one for the cranium, one for my neck, so that people can check out exactly how much damage is going on. So I figured, in all fairness, what the heck, I'll show you exactly what's going on. So, running through these, this is a side picture of my cranium. And right here, as you can see, is where they did the surgery. Now, I'm going to draw this up a little bit here so you can see what I'm looking at. Put a little contrast in there. Isn't that lovely? All right. Along this area here, and along this area here. That's a bandage. It goes all the way around my head. A couple snaps in there. Band, 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 screws, 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 screws. If you look over here, I got some really great stuff going on in my cranium. It has had a lot of battering. So the concept of did she have a brain surgery or not, we can put that question to rest. There you go, people, nice and shiny. That's the area that they had to remove from the side of my head to take the 3-centimeter ball, like a golf ball, tumor out of the side of my head. And they had to screw it back in. That's pretty straightforward in itself. Now, the question about my broken neck. This is a really cool shot. Straightforward. I'll bring it right up here. Ta-da! Isn't that great? Isn't that dandy? This little piece, oops, excuse me. Get back up there. As you can see, put a little contrast on that. There's 1 large screw, 2 large screw, 3 and 4, and a plate. And a really jacked up neck. I'm open to chiropractic care if they'd like to offer it. We both know the answer to that. It's all about the dollar. Anyway, there you go. When I said I broke my neck, I wasn't fooling. I take amazing photos for this. It's going to be great for Halloween, what can I say? From the back side, when you look at my neck, you can see right there's the 4 screws. It's between C6 and C7. That's where I get my tetraplegia or partial quad. As you can see, I have very unhappy bones. They're not happy one bit whatsoever. And there's a contusion. Having your spinal cord crushed is a very uncomfortable situation. And I'm grateful I don't have more arthritis. The reason why I'm doing it in this format is this isn't a program you can exactly put on a different format. It takes manipulation of hand. So I have to put this on my laptop and show that to you. All right, Rascal, where are you? Ah, there you go. So I'm showing all of this so that people can see for themselves. I am not faking it. This is just what it is. Everything slammed together, overgrown, and rather painful. There's one that I really have curiosities about. I'm sure there's someone out there who will know what it is. This is looking at my neck from the top of my head. And as it goes through here, something strange happens up in here. I have no idea. As you can see, there's the fusion and the damage. And it totally blasts out like I got a radio receiver in my head. What is going on up in here? Because it shows up in odd ways. here's part of the plate work that they did on me. When you come down, you'll see it again. But there's been, as you can see, one side, and this is sort of a flip. Left is right, right is left. It's a flip. So this is seeming to be on the left side. This here is a bunch of old damage from where the tumor had to be taken out because it took up this entire area. And the sides of my head swell terribly. Doesn't mean I've lost it, it just means I've had a lot of rough stuff. But every time I get to this point, oink, there it goes. So whatever got stuck up inside my head, I would appreciate it not being there. Here's yet another one. Come along, you. Pop up. There we go. Again, interference. And as we go, coming down, coming down, coming down. So much fun to do this. But yeah, you can see where I have all sorts of problems. Breaks in my actual skull. There's quite a few in the back of my head. I got in more than one head whack when I was growing up. I fell out. One story from up above fell flat on my back and cracked my skull when I was a kiddo. Kind of makes a difference. I guess in all of this, what I'm trying to accomplish is absolutely being open with what's happening with me. My health is stable. Means I can breathe, I can think, I can do. My body complicates things, and I have to use a certain level of finesse in everything that I'm doing. I just don't go running wiggly-piggly around doing as I please. That's not going to be appreciated by my body. And my goal is to, in spite of my disability, find a way to be gainfully employed where I don't need assistance whatsoever, and I can move forward in my life and be a positive force. Oh, by the way, back of my skull, you can see where I broke my head. It's kind of wobbly, to say the least. Oh, look, more of that interference. Again, where I had a dental appointment to fill a tooth. Whatever could that be that's setting off the entire CAT scan? But when I roll down, it doesn't affect the bottom teeth, only the top. Something in the top tooth. Yeah, no speculation about what happened there. Just is the world that we're in. This is just a pan down of my neck and the damage there is. I don't begin to say that I know how to read these. I just, as an amateur, can look at that and say, gee, that's not right. That's really not right. That's not okay. But this is why the, oh, look at that. That blur is still cutting right through there. This is why I look at these things and go, even I, a novice, can know that the bones aren't right, that they're thinned out, that the discs are soft and flat, that they are sidestepped, that obviously that's uncomfortable and painful. I can see right here where the fusion pops through. It shows. You know, all of this is the reason. Isn't that a great shot? Yeah. They call it stabilized, and I'm okay with that. I'm working for that. I still dislike this. This should not be here. And it's on several different of these CAT scans, several different angles. It's there. So when you're looking at all of this, just get that, like I told you before, I'm not going to lie to you, I'm not going to pretend, and I'm going to be totally honest. I've got absolutely nothing to hide. How's that for a concept? someone who wants to do what's politically right, who's not hiding a single thing from anyone. And you should know, while we were going through this entire scenario, I found myself contacting lawyers. I found myself contacting doctors. I've contacted disability rights, civil rights, the ADA for civil rights, for civil disability rights. I've contacted a criminal lawyer who said, well, you haven't committed any crime, so they can't do anything to you. I've contacted civil rights lawyers, and they're like, well, we're not sure what we can do right now. And even when I contacted ombudsmen and the rest for what they are doing, which has interfered with running for office so they can keep me from attempting to do public service, it's a civic duty. It's a civic duty, and it's the right thing to do. But with all those calls I have made, I have been blocked at every turn. And I think that is completely unfair, that they would do that to me. And it's not just me who's getting it. Now, if you look over here, that's broken. That's broken. That's broken. It's what happens when you smash your head in a car accident. You break a few things. I think it's a true blessing that I'm alive, that I'm doing well, and that I'm still going forward. And in spite of all of this that you're seeing, remember, I'm not taking anything for pain. Not at all. There is nothing going on the way outside of an aspirin, a Tylenol, going in and taking a hot bath with Epsom salts, liniment, the old school stuff. I don't do anything like that. And I do it to protect myself and my health. I'm not exactly happy with the way that they have done what they've done. But I'm not going to allow that to get into the way of what I need to do. Hi. So, kind of my show and tell. I wanted to introduce you to the editing rooms down at Capital Community TV. As you can see, they're rather nice. Nice rolly chairs. And this is the program that we use. And this is what I do when people question my abilities of being able to do this. As you can see, it takes one hand. And we just do this. It's just so much easier for us to watch the programs. We just put it in, film it, produce it, set it in, bring up pictures, come down here, we add music. We can do an awful lot of stuff. This is what I do to keep myself healthy and active. And being disabled does not mean that you cannot do this. I mean, many people who are disabled, and we find ourselves often at home. We have laptops and computers, and we really use up a lot of hours doing something on the computer, searching out articles, watching documentaries. There's a lot of different things we do to buy our time because they haven't found too many jobs in the world that we can actually do. It's not that we don't want to work. We don't want to work. We want to do. This is the same level of energy and effort as if I was to stay home and play on the internet all day long and play internet games or send instant messages or any of that genre. It's the same level. You sit still, you take items you like, it's the same, pull and paste, and there's nothing extremely hard here to do. It's a great way to show beautiful things of nature, putting up political stuff, putting out your opinion, and it's a nice fail-safe for being able to produce something that can actually have a positive impact on society, showing your own personal inner beauty, giving informative teaching, They have many different levels here at CCTV, and I would invite all of you to come down and use your right to be heard. Produce something for the school, produce something for your church, produce something for yourself. Film a wedding, film a vacation. You check out the equipment just like you check out a book at the library. And you can produce something that really is a signature of what you can do, what you believe, what's beautiful to you, what upsets you. It's a nice voice, and it is not scary. The people who work here are extremely helpful. And there are many times with short-term memory, I will forget one of the cross programs and like, oh, it's okay, Bev, just boom, boom, here you go. And I'm back on track and I'm doing great and glorious things. They have the classes here. It's extremely inexpensive. They have the studios, and they have incredible help. It's not inexpensive. Oh, you know, we have our little brains for hard drives that we have to purchase ourselves. And if you wanted a copy of your own work, it's 50 cents to get a little DVD. I would suggest coming here. It has been the only way I have had to express the truth, to defend myself when there isn't a single governmental agency in the state of Oregon that is going to do the right thing. They're not going to stand by me. They're going to cover it up. This is all the big game. The DOJ obviously has way too much time on their hands, and they can grand jury all they want. But this is my crime, is I can do this. It's the same thing I'm doing at home on my computer. Oh. It's hard to take them seriously. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's hard to take a government serious who is this petty and maligned with having problems over people in a free country who are following their amendment rights, their constitutional rights, their civil rights, their human rights to do outside of being held prisoner in their own home. There's nothing wrong with anything I'm doing here. It's the same thing I would do if I just stayed at home. And I don't want to just sit in my home as if it's a prison simply because I have some pretty messed up stuff happening in my bones. All of those different things that I showed you, they just are what they are. And as everybody ages, we all get a little forgetful. We all need a little bit of help. And I am trying to make things better. I'm trying to bring to the forefront the problems that are with Senior Disability Services. Senior Disability Services is also DHS, Department of Human Services, which is connected to the DOJ, Department of Justice. And the Attorney General is supposed to be in there. Now, they aren't returning my calls. They won't have anything to do with me, and I think that is pretty scoundrelly. But attorneys tell me all the same thing. You have a constitutional right to do what you do, to be free. Pursuit of happiness, they call it. And I have a Fifth Amendment right not to tell anyone anything. I don't have to talk to these fools. I don't have to incriminate myself. Remember when officers used to read you the Miranda rights and tell you exactly, you have the right to remain silent, so on and so forth? They don't even do that anymore. They don't respect the public enough to do that. And I dastardly called them out on that. So there's going to be reproach. They've been very successful in undermining the last 2 weeks of October for my ability to run for office and get my word out there and my name by firing my care provider. But you see, they legally can't do that. I'm the one who hired her, and I'm the one who can fire her. They have no jurisdiction to do what they did, but they did it because they did not want me to have somebody who could drive for me, who would bring me places, who would do things with me. They wanted to keep me so tore up with calling my daughter into a grand jury, which is garbage and a joke. They wanted to keep me so busy making calls to attorneys and disability services and all of that nonsense and civil rights and the ACLU. So while I'm doing that, can I run for office? Am I getting a fair opportunity? Am I being treated with respect? No, no, no. So you see, it is this kind of government, which is why I run for office, because I do not have an ounce of respect for a government that ignores the laws, just completely ignores your civil rights, your constitutional rights. They ignore the human right, and they have disdain for the truth. I've got nothing to hide. I've just shown you exactly what my CAT scans look like. You've seen the bar in my throat. You've seen the damage on the side of my skull. I cannot be more honest than that. But everything they do is in the dark, and not one of them has actually come to me and talked to me. They have gone around me, behind my back. They've followed me. I don't care how much they want to claim that my care provider for the last 6 months is fraudulent, yada, yada, yada. And if their concept is if they can get the money back. Now, mind you, it's less than $2,000 a month for 6 months. Okay, 2 times 6 is 12. So $12,000 they want back. Plus they want to double that. Plus they want to put on fees. And you know what? The scoundrel who kicked this off for the DOJ will get a third to a half of that money. They have people who are paid to screw up your life, to follow you around, to take cloak and dagger pictures of you, to illegally confront everyone who is in your family or your friends, threaten them with imprisonment. I thought I was in America. Obviously, I'm wrong. I was wrong, I guess, that people with disabilities have any right running for office. They have absolutely nothing to offer. They couldn't possibly know what to do about the programs that they're involved in and invested in. We may not like what other people do. We may find it barbaric and wrong, and we don't have to agree with them. But when you want to talk about the core, we actually have a sacred belief that human rights and human life matters, that babies are precious, life is important, people matter. I mean, I've faced too many times when people have said, you're going to die. I choose not to. I choose to live. My body hurts. I don't take pain medication for it. All of that aside, I want to live. And I want to do it in a way that I have a chance of maybe finding a way to support myself. I'm 50 years old and I am disabled, and I still want to work. I still want to produce. I still want to give back. I still want to use my knowledge. I'm still a viable person, and I don't think Washington, D.C. has a right to say, you're disabled, you should stop being a burden on society's taxes. You're 75, you should surrender your life over, there's no point to you continuing to live. My family loves me, in spite of me. My friends love me. I'm respected by many people. Not because I force people to like me. It's because I respect them too. And I don't have any agenda to hurt anyone else. I don't have any intention to hurt anyone else. And what gets me going is watching our government hurt our people, ignore our people, take money from our people, not give voice, ignore civil rights, ignore the dignity of the human race. I'm not alone in this. And I'm probably singing to the choir on this. So I want to be as honest as I can about everything that is occurring, and I want to give this to you, but I thought it only fair that you see for yourself. Those are my CAT scans, taken on the 22nd of November 2014, just a week ago. And this is where I use my one hand to try and produce things. It's not just, I mean, I've done a lot of political stuff lately, and that seems a little, but I've never ran before. And since I am on disability, I'm not allowed to take money in, because if you take money into your hand, even if it's contributions to run, you set yourself up in losing your disability, losing your care provider. Oh wait, they took her anyway. You end up having to account for it, and it's just not worth it. So this does not cost me anything. I'm running for office, and I can guarantee you the fact that I have not spent more than I'm not sure if it was $67 or $69, but it was under $70 to put in to run at the Secretary of State's and the elections office. Outside of that, I've put no money on my campaign, so I can't regulate it, and I can produce here, and lucky for me, this area is where Capital Community Television actually does its job. So I can do this. I can do Statesman Journal if they want to. They decided they wanted to. So I got an article there that tells you I'm not going to win. Not going to win. I'm an unorthodox woman. Yeah, I suppose unorthodox is kind of a compliment, because I've seen what's politically correct and it's not politically right, so I'm not keen to be orthodox. So there you have it in a nutshell, people. I'm going to keep this short on purpose. I'm hoping to get it out before the end of the election time, but we'll see how it goes, okay? And I do appreciate your time, and vote with your heart, okay? Vote with your head. Heart first, though. I just really want to see this go better, okay? I'll see you later.